At the closing ceremony of the Athens Olympic Games in 2004, Wang Qishan, mayor of Beijing, China, accepted the flag to hold the 29th Olympic Games. Since then, China's 1.3 billion people have worked hard to realize their dream of hosting the Beijing 2008 Olympic Games. Beijing, a famous ancient capital in the East, greets a new day again. Under the sunshine, Beijing, an old city with a history of over 1,000 years, is writing new chapters page by page. In this city with 1,000 years of Oriental culture, the best way for harmonious coexistence between the ancient and the modern has been found. People excel at enjoying happiness amidst traditions. The 29th Olympic Games, to be held in Beijing on August 8, 2008, have brought about great changes to life in Beijing. The people believe the Olympic Games will change their opportunities. To welcome this global sports event, the people are sparing no efforts in preparation. Meng Hanguang is a taxi driver called Dige in Beijing. Every day he starts work at dawn.
高叔，来份报纸。哎，谢谢您。该刮胡子了啊，高叔。每天买一份，每天到家门口，这个高老头给我留一份报纸。哎，捡这报纸，日期，还有天气预报，升降旗的时间，主要是咱们这个方便客人呀。哎，这小的提示，您看这午前多云，午后阵雨。得，我这项工作就算完了。
Among all the taxi drivers in Beijing, Mr. Meng is fairly famous. On top of his taxi, there is a red star, which represents highlighted taxi drivers in Beijing. It is not easy for taxi drivers in Beijing to get this star. Mr. Meng gives every passenger a smile and good service as well.
今天天儿又是33度，又比较热。
今天是8月8号立秋是吧？
对，8月8号立秋。
好像离奥运也挺近的嘛。
哎，对啊，奥运正好1年了。您看这不是这个？
奥运
1年。
哎，那为什么好像是366天了？今天我听新闻说。
365，他得到晚上8点钟才改这时间呢。
Since Beijing's successful bid to host the 2008 Olympic Games, many Olympic venues have been constructed. Now they are popular topics people delight in talking about.
这儿您看，快看左边，这儿不就是鸟巢吗？
那个水立方是在附近吗？
水立方您在这个位置看不到，您看看这儿得有多少拍照的，外国人还有。
What Mr. Monk mentioned is the National Stadium, the main sports venue for the Beijing Olympic Games. It demonstrates an unusual design concept. In the shape of a bird's nest with a steel framework, it came to the forefront among a number of designs from all over the world. The world-renowned stadium has become a bright landscape in the old capital of Beijing. It adds radiance and beauty to the red walls and yellow tiles of the former imperial palace. Other well-known Olympic venues in Beijing are the National Aquatic Center, commonly known as the Water Cube, and the National Indoor Stadium in the shape of an unfolded fan. Though it is 1 year until the opening ceremony for the 2008 Olympic Games, the Olympic torch has already been ignited in the hearts of the Chinese people. Olympic campaigns are sweeping the country, each one higher than the last. Happiness and hope, expectations and dreams have become vigorous marches for the Olympics. Everyone wants to do something for the upcoming global sports event.
You can go there by taxi. 您可以乘地铁去那儿。You can go there by subway.
There is an old saying, people over 30 cannot learn new skills. However, Mr. Meng started to learn English at the age of 45.
日语请按1，英语请按2，韩语请按3。普通话已经 2 for English。
这是我们新装的语音系统，就为了这次测试赛，可能以后奥运啊全用这个。我是出租司机。
啊，你好，
我想
需要我帮助的。
哎，你好，我想用英语，问他是哪国人，是不是运动员，还是教练，
嗯，
好吗？
好，可以。
好，谢谢您，稍等。Hello。
Hello. Can you tell me where you're from?
I'm from Israel.
喂，您好。
哎，您好，请讲。
他是从那个以色列来的，然后是那个射箭的。
以色列来的。
这是射箭。
好嘞，谢谢您。他是运动员还是什么？
运动员吧。
是运动员是吧？
嗯。
好嘞，谢谢您啊，谢谢您的服务。好嘞，谢谢。
After lunch every day, team leader Meng chats with his colleagues about current affairs.
全世界人们都到，您想都到咱们国家集会来，那何况到咱们家门口了？咱们要是东道主了，您再不会几句英语，那说不过去，得让人家找到家的感觉。您签名不是照相得签名，就怕咱们拐着话，说不说了。
Today, Mr. Meng's taxi team is undertaking a special task, guaranteeing taxis for the archery trial for the Olympic Games at the Beijing archery range. Before the competition starts, a Russian coach suddenly finds she has forgotten her competition equipment. She gets into Mr. Meng's taxi, urging him to go back to the hotel as quickly as possible.
也不能免车，稍等一会儿，几分钟的事儿，他上去取东西，所以我们永远得保持这车辆里边得凉爽，有新鲜的空气。
The Russian coach is relieved after she gets her equipment. However, on the way back, there is a little trouble.
Hello.
哎呀，过了。
怎么办呢？
等会儿摸摸。
他们现在应该11点钟是热身赛，12点才正式比赛。现在还
12点是吧？行，没问题，准时能给您到达。
11点钟。
能，准时。这奥运场馆周围的这些路啊，一天一个变化，真是。原来这儿有一口是直接可以通过去，可能是为了这次测试赛呀，不让其他车辆进入这场馆周围，所以说他不给留口了。
他那个为了公路自行车赛，很多路口都封了。
对。
交通管制。
那还是得从那儿绕过去。对，正确的走法还得走刚才那桥再左转。
There's some little problems, but we will solve it.
往上。咱们从这儿左转，左转。咱们一直走，完了到那儿右转弯就可以了。
是不是快到了呀？
到了，拐过东门就是。还有10分钟。这不是500米吗？这不是射箭，对吧？射箭场500米多。哎呀，到了。
啊，看到了。
Hello.
We have arrived.
Here we are.
This way, please. Thank you.
好。
Qingdao, a beautiful seaside city in Shandong Province, China, is a co-host city of the Beijing 2008 Olympic Games. As the taxi drivers worked happily under the bright and beautiful August sunshine in Beijing, a retired horticultural engineer in Qingdao worried about the weather. Li Zongyuan used to be a chief engineer for the Bureau of Gardens in Qingdao. Now he is retired. As a lifelong horticultural engineer, he has a dream of making his city more beautiful. Because of tropical storms, it has rained for a few days in Qingdao. On the morning of the following day, the inauguration ceremony for the one-year countdown is to be held at May 4th Square. What would the weather be? Old Mr. D is worried. Old Mr. D tries to get some good news from the weather forecast on the radio, but he fails. Old Mr. D was once in charge of designing a greening project for May 4th Square. Because of the special geological structure of Qingdao, the issue of drainage to allow plants to be grown on the square is tough to solve. Old Mr. D is very worried about whether successive days of cloudy and rainy weather will damage the plants. Finally, he decides to go to May 4th Square to take a look.
青岛这个土质很薄，它都是下面全是岩石和沙，所以要栽树的话，必须大量的换土，但换土同时还需要搞这个排水通道的，不然的话换土你因为周围都是岩石，所以你换人以后就成一个石棚了，所以不但要大量的换土，另外下边有排水通道，这样树才能长好。这是97年栽的时候，也就是不到15的公分吧。你看现在长得还是不错的。银杏这种就是我们国家特产，白果。
Old Mr. D is not the only person on the square to welcome the Olympic Games.
有活动，年前奥运，对，明年。啊，小队要打，明年有吗？明年开会。
明天不是国际帆船赛吗？这个国际帆船赛是为这个2008年奥帆赛做准备，是这次这个帆船赛国际帆船赛的所有一切的工作上，全就是用2008年那一套，实际是一个演练，也是一个演练过程。这个是都会准备大家参与。
A decade ago, Hong Kong returned to the big family of China. As the financial center of Asia and a world port, Hong Kong, the Pearl of the Orient, has been developing at a high speed. Hong Kong is a co-host city for the Beijing 2008 Olympic Games. The equestrian matches will be held in Hong Kong. Hong Kong did not have a special organization for equestrian matches before. Starting from scratch requires a large number of people. However, the people of Hong Kong have a good tradition of volunteering, equivalent to that of volunteers in mainland China. To be a volunteer, one needs to go through strict tests of equestrian sports knowledge and language skills. Tang Lujia, a student in the law department who works as a law office trainee, is recruited among the first group of 600 volunteers for the equestrian matches. Hong Kong will hold 3 equestrian events for the Good Luck Beijing Hong Kong SAR 10th Anniversary Cup. On holidays and after work, Tang Lujia devotes most of her spare time to volunteering.
我很想做那个奥运的义工，是因为香港人真的很小机会可以为我们的祖国做一些事情。我们不会当兵啊，我们不会做那些工作，所以这是一个很好的机会。因为是大陆给我们这个机会去办这个奥运马术的比赛。 所以我觉得我们可以参加是很光荣的事情。
Tang Lujia needs to go through the greater part of Hong Kong and transfer 3 times before reaching the Hong Kong Olympic equestrian venue in Shatian. It takes her over 1 hour each way. As the provider of the equestrian match venue for the Beijing 2008 Olympic Games, the Hong Kong Jockey Club plans to invest about 800 million Hong Kong dollars in transforming and expanding venues for the equestrian events in Shatian and Bees River. Tang Lujia works to decorate the venue and places ready-made floral arrangements in the venue based on drawings. The colorful flowers are important ornaments for the traditional equestrian events. The organizer is scrupulous about every detail.
They want to picture us doing a volunteer doing the work, but I don't know what to do today.
Oh.
Because we have already finished decorating arranging the flowers.
Okay. Now you guys go inside the ring and help her to arrange
okay.
the jumps.
Okay. Arrange the jump.
Okay.
Okay.
So, tell one right, okay.
我自己是香港人，香港是中国的一部分。我自己是个中国人，我很高兴中国能举办这个奥运会。那我自己能参与其中任何一个部分，我也是很开心、很光荣的事情。
A rehearsal for the equestrian trial events will be held at the Shatian equestrian venue today, so as to test the actual effects of all the facilities on the venue. Due to a tropical storm along the southeastern coast of China, Hong Kong has been windy and rainy recently. Tang Lujia is very worried.
但是如果有台风的话呢，明天就会全部都乱掉了。那我们又要早一点，就看看怎样去修补了。
It rains right away, and all the work on the venue has to stop. While it rains heavily in Hong Kong, the sky clears in Qingdao. The inauguration ceremony for the one-year countdown to the Olympic Games is held on schedule.
让我们一起倒数，5、4、3、2、
As Mr. Meng misses the chance to attend the countdown activity at Tiananmen Square, he comes to the countdown board beside North Sihuan Road to hold a small celebration activity and leave a historical image for himself.
亲爱的朋友们，来，让我们一起倒计时，5、4、3、2、1。时刻，这是一个欢乐的海洋。
让我们祝福北京，祝福奥运，祝福全世界。
Dear friends from the world, to the Beijing 2008 Olympic Games, we salute you.
C'est un moment historique, un moment de joie. Tous nos meilleurs vœux de succès à Beijing aux Jeux Olympiques.
On that very night, people from around the country were enveloped in a festive atmosphere. On Beer Street in Qingdao, songs and the scent of beer wafted through the air. After several days of heavy rain, the Qingdao Olympic Sailing Center is open to welcome guests on schedule. The 2007 Qingdao International Regatta formally starts. Old Mr. D comes to the center to check on the plants, and the athletes from different countries enjoy China's Olympic service ahead of schedule. Old Mr. D comes to the center many times after the landscape planning began.
今天这可能是第5、6次吧。是因为想看看这个绿化效果怎么样，就是主力这环境效果怎么样。现在看来还算可以。不过呢，经过1年以后，明年这个2008年，奥运赛以后，我想比现在要好得多。因为现在它一个树木它有个恢复时期，恢复时期。
Like trees under the good care of gardeners, all the buildings and facilities for competitions have stood the test of the tropical storm, and all of them worked normally. Hong Kong is still going through a test with heavy rains. As the day for the formal competition approaches, volunteers set out for the venue at 5 a.m. On August 11th, the 3 equestrian events for the Good Luck Beijing Hong Kong SAR 10th Anniversary Cup are to be held at 8 p.m. Because of the inclement weather, arrangements for the site have been postponed until several hours before the competition. It takes only an hour or so for the volunteers to finish the arrangements that normally would have taken 3 hours. Today, thousands upon thousands of Chinese people are walking toward the splendid day in 2008 step by step. Like Di Zongyuan, Meng Huanguang, and Tang Lujia, every Chinese person links him or herself with that moment in different ways. Human beings created the Olympic Games, and the Olympic Games belong to all mankind. The first sentence in the handbook for the 3 equestrian events for the Good Luck Beijing Hong Kong SAR 10th Anniversary Cup reads, "Welcoming the Beijing 2008 Olympic Games starts from this moment."